What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Tew Confrontational, where we preview each week of the NFL, give our picks and predictions on the top games, performances for the upcoming week. And yeah, conference championship week here. We got two games left, four teams left. Actually, three games left, but
hmm
yeah, four teams and chance to make to the Super Bowl here with this week. We got the Bills and the Chiefs, longtime rivalry matchup here in the conference championship, and then on the other side of the division, we got the Washington Commanders going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's going to be well-known teams. I mean, Washington and Eagles have played each other twice already this season. Bills and Chiefs played each other once. The Bills actually snapped the Kansas City Chiefs undefeated season, only lost of
hmm
the year. So I mean, both of these teams know each other very well. Should be a fun weekend of football here with these last two games. One obviously kicking off at what nooner, and the other one kicking off at 3:30, or is it 3:30
nope,
and 5:30 or
nope.
6:30?
Two and 5:30.
Okay, so the late afternoon games. So I mean, get your
Yep.
stuff done in the morning, and then yeah, football time all day the rest of the day. So yeah, should be fun. We'll jump right into it here. As far as yeah, I guess I kind of just gave up on the record there. I haven't even tallied it up, and then I kind of gave up on the championship just because there's only like what is our record? I think I went what 5-2 the first week.
I think I went 1-5, 1-5 the first week, and then I went 3-1 last weekend. I had the Chiefs winning, I had the Bills winning, and I had the Eagles winning. The only one was the Lions Commanders. So I think we both went 3-1. So
Yeah,
I'm probably sitting at right now 4-6 total for
right.
the playoffs. But yeah, I kind of just gave up. I mean, obviously there's only three games left, like you said. Yeah, I mean the biggest shock out of them all. I think everybody could have that from that slate could have picked those three teams besides the Commanders. Yeah, obviously Jaden Daniels is playing really well, and yeah, he's got a big test in front of him. But yeah, let's get into the games. Yeah, let's get into the games.
Yeah, kicking off right away on Saturday. This is the 2 o'clock game here on the NFC side, the NFC Conference Championship. We have the like 12-5 Washington Commanders, 14-3 Philadelphia Eagles. Those are regular season records there, and obviously they're 2-0 in the playoffs there. So Philly has a 5.5 point spread at home at Lincoln Financial Field. But like you said, Jaden Daniels has been having one hell of a rookie year. Put up
hmm
42 points last week on the Lions. Lions defense banged up, but still 42 points. Phenomenal in the playoffs there. So yeah, Commanders, Eagles, who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's you want to see that underdog story with Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. I mean, when's the last time they've been in the Super Bowl? But I got to go with Philadelphia at home, and I just think the way Saquon Barkley's been playing, what did he have last week? 225 yards or something like that,
Yeah, something
rushing.
nuts.
I'm pulling it up here. I think he
Yeah,
had
205,
205, whatever.
touchdowns. Yeah.
Yeah, the way he's been playing, he's kind of putting the team on his back, and being at home. I mean, it'd be cool to see Jaden Daniels win and make the Super Bowl as a rookie. I think it's been done once, I believe, maybe never. I think that Big Ben it was his second or third year when he made the Super Bowl. But yeah, I'm gonna go Philadelphia here. I just think, yeah, if their defense steps up, can't allow those big plays to Jaden Daniels, and then yeah, Saquon Barkley leading the way. Offensive line's got to play well, but I'm gonna go Philadelphia at home over
As
the
a
Commanders.
rookie, yeah, as a rookie ever started in the Super Bowl, Ben Roethlisberger was his the only other one. Jane Daniels would be the first rookie quarterback to make it to the Super Bowl.
And Big Ben
Um,
didn't win it that year. I
no,
don't think. I think he
no,
won
he
it
did. I'm
his
pretty sure
rookie
he did,
year.
didn't he?
No, I think he lost it, and then I think he won it his third or fourth year.
Because he
I think
came
it was
into
like
the yeah, he came in like he didn't start the whole season. I don't think he just
he was
came in and then yeah,
what was he drafted in '03? And I think they won it in '06 or '08.
yeah. I'm not quite sure what. Yeah, when I look it up, it starts to lag there, so I'm not going to look it up.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, Ben Roethlisberger, I know has played in a Super Bowl when he was a rookie, and then yeah, Jaden Daniels. But the crazy thing about Jaden Daniels is, he only like, have you heard of the VR situation with Jaden Daniels? Like he wears those virtual reality goggles every day
Mm-hmm.
to do walkthroughs and stuff. So he
Uh,
had that at LSU. And the only way he would sign the contract for the Commanders was if they brought that virtual reality goggles to the Commanders facility and let him utilize that
mm-hmm.
throughout his like
Is that
career.
cheating? Is that cheating?
It's the same thing as if you were practicing, isn't it?
Maybe I don't know. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of any quarterback doing it. He's the first quarterback I've heard of
Yeah, and he is.
utilizing that.
He's kind of setting the landscape and everything, the paving the way. But have you seen Dan Orlovsky on ESPN when he's doing like that replay? He goes and
Hmm.
puts on the goggles, and that's what Jaden Daniels is using
Okay.
for his. So he goes through like, and it's at that's like 1.75 speed. So
Mm.
everything's sped up to like 1.75 speed. So when it comes to the game time, everything's
Kind of
feels
like, yeah,
slow and he can
right.
go through his progression. So I mean, that's yeah, game breaking if that's like if that's going to be a technology implemented into like younger generations, high school, college, like you're going to see quarterbacks and stuff like improve tremendously. You see it in Jane Daniels and everything. So I thought that was a
Hmm.
kind of a cool story. And yeah, obviously it's working or something's working that he's doing because
Right.
he's having a phenomenal year. He did it in college, that is doing it in the NFL, and it looks like it's coming easy to him. So
Hmm.
I want to see the Commanders win, and I called it last time. I said something feels like the Commanders are going to win when they played in the regular season, and I called the Commanders beating the Eagles. They only won by
Yep.
like a point or two, but Philly's good. Their defense looked solid last week. Saquon, tremendous. Um, nothing coming out of Jalen Hurts really. No passing. I mean, I think he
Hmm.
only threw like 150 yards last week. But when you have Saquon running for 200, don't really need to throw the ball. So,
No.
um, Commanders have a lot of huge task at hand. But I'm gonna go Commanders. I want to see the Commanders win again, and I want to see Jane Daniels make the Super Bowl and hopefully win the Super Bowl. Have they haven't announced any of the awards yet, have they? Is that next week or February 4th or
No,
something like that?
they just announced the finalist for
Yeah.
all the awards, but
Hmm.
yeah, most likely he'll probably win Rookie of the Year or Offensive Rookie of the Year. Most likely, I would think so. I mean, I think I saw Brock Bowers in that conversation, Bo Nix, um, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Brock
but
Bowers he had a pretty damn good year too. He said he broke a lot of rookie records, but and they don't include, obviously like we talked last week. They don't include the postseason
right.
any of it. And so I mean it'd be cool to see Jaden Daniels win it, but Brock Bowers also would be awesome to see as a tight end. You know.
Right. Right. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I got Commanders, you got Eagles in this one of the first game of the week. So yeah, it should be a fun contest. They like I said, these teams know each other well. And so do these next two teams at 5:30, the Bills, Buffalo Bills, facing on the Kansas City Chiefs, 15-2. So
Hmm.
wasn't their only loss. I think they lost to the Broncos like the last game of the season too.
They did. They
The
got
Chiefs,
smoked.
yeah. Yeah, 34 to 38
38
nothing.
nothing
You're
or
right.
38-3. Yeah.
With their second, third strings
38
in.
nothing. Yeah.
But yeah, Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. Kansas City is favored by 2.5. This one should be it's going to be a close game. Going to come down to the last second score or like
Hmm.
crazy play at the end of the game where remember Cardarius Tony foot on the line, everything like that. So
Yep. Yep.
going to be something crazy like that, or a flea flicker from Travis Kelsey scoring. Yeah, something crazy is going to happen to end this game or to turn this game around. But Buffalo Chiefs in at Arrowhead. Who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I am going to take the underdog. Obviously, not by much. You said it was 1.5 or one.
Two and a
Um,
half right now.
2.5 now. So it's no, is it? We must be using different apps because I looked and
I'm on
uh,
ESPN. I mean,
yeah,
I'm looking at it right now.
I'm using Bleacher Report, and yeah, it doesn't matter. 2.5, 1.5. Right now, Bleacher Report has it 1.5. ESPN has 2.5. Don't matter. Going to be a tight game no matter what. I think. I actually before we went into the podcast, I was thinking about picking the underdogs for both games, the Commanders and the Bills. Obviously, I went with the Eagles, but I am going to go Bills here. I think when the Bills beat the Chiefs, I think actually picked the Bills to beat the Chiefs and give them their first loss. However 10 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Right.
I'm going to go Bills here. I think Josh Allen, he's going to rise to the occasion. Um, it's gonna be tough, man. Like you said, like Travis Kelsey, they got those lateral passes. Whatever he does, when he's about to get tackled, he flips it off.
Oh yeah,
Um,
and Travis Kelsey in the postseason is the best. And
Dangerous, yeah. Yeah,
he had
and
100 yards, 112 yards on 7 catches. He leads. He broke all the records. He has most catches, most yards, most touchdowns. He's the
hmm
best player in the postseason as far as receiving or a receiving threat. So
yeah,
Travis Kelsey coming alive, and then Hollywood Brown had a couple nice deep balls, and I think he dropped one deep ball, but it was right in his hands. And then you obviously have Xavier Worthy. Isaiah
hmm
Pacheco hasn't really came alive yet after coming back from his injury. Watch out for him to come back alive. I don't know. Defense is the only thing that kind of scares me on the Chiefs side, except for up front and Chris Jones, and then they have Reed in the back in the secondary. But yeah, give me the Kansas City Chiefs at home. I mean, it's I'm never gonna bet against Patrick Mahomes at home,
Yeah, it's
especially in the
tough too, but
playoffs. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a close one. It's gonna be, like I said, one of those weird games where something crazy is gonna happen. It's gonna be the
hmm
turning point in the game. So, but yeah, I like Kansas City. I like Andy Reid. You sent me a thing yesterday that had all the coaching.
yeah, I can go through that. I actually I did save that picture, and we'll go
Well,
over all
we'll
the.
just go over all the coaching changes right now and
Okay, yeah,
do all
we'll
that
just.
because there's been some big changes. Obviously, the off season's kicking off right now. It did
hmm
when the playoffs started. Coaches up for grabs. I mean, when the Lions lost both the offense and defensive coordinators, top in their position in the league, obviously looking for head coaching jobs, and they landed a couple spots, and then yeah, a few other ones if you just want to run through those.
Let's
So
just
yeah,
wrap.
just
Yeah,
to wrap up.
let's wrap up our games. Yeah.
Yep,
So I'm
wrap
going.
up the
I'm going
game.
Eagles. I'm going Eagles against Eagles against Commanders. I have Eagles winning, and then Chiefs Bills or Bills at the Chiefs. I have the Bills winning, and we are both vice versa. So you picked the Commanders and Chiefs, and I picked the Bills and Eagles. So
Yep.
um, obviously, you don't have to do game locks because there's only two games, and um, you know we both picked opposite. So you know how that goes. But yeah, coaching changes. Yeah, a lot of. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. Besides the AFC and NFC championships, I can kind of go through those, and then we'll kind of discuss all of these. But obviously, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn were the biggest targets. Obviously, the Lions had a phenomenal season because of those two, and obviously the head coach. But yeah, Ben Johnson goes to the Bears, um, and then Aaron Glenn goes to the Jets. Uh, Brian Schottenheimer goes to the Cowboys. That was finalized last night.
And he was
So
their offensive coordinator, and he didn't even
yeah,
call any plays. Mike
yeah,
McCarthy called
Big
all the
Mike.
plays.
Yeah, I think he had some obviously input or insight, whatever input. But yeah, Brian Schottenheimer stays with the Cowboys, just gets that kind of what is it called? Like they promotion, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, and
And
a
then
lot of people weren't a fan of that move, but
yeah, I mean they obviously there was discussion of Deion Sanders going to the Cowboys, but we'll talk about these after all. And then yeah, Robert Saleh was a huge candidate for the Jacksonville Jaguars at one point, but decided to go elsewhere. He goes to the Niners as their DC, returns to the Niners as
yep.
their DC, and obviously we know that he played. He was a phenomenal coach when they went to the NFC Championship a few times, won against the Packers. Matt Eberflus, the Bears' ex head coach, goes to the Cowboys as a defensive coordinator. Big one here, oldest coach in NFL history ever, head coach in NFL history. Pete Carroll goes to the Raiders, and Liam Cohen never saw this, didn't know who this guy was. He's the OC. He was the OC for the Buccaneers. He goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars as their head coach. And then Mike McCarthy, like we discussed earlier, hasn't found a home yet. I don't know if there's any job openings still. I think they've all been filled. But what do you think about all these changes?
Yeah, I mean, obviously well deserved for the Lions offensive and defensive coordinator. Phenomenal year on both ends of the ball for the Lions. So yeah, they well deserved for their coaching jobs. And you said Ben Johnson went to the Bears
Mm-hmm.
as the
Yep.
new head coach there. So I mean, um, yeah, that one's all right. And then you have who went to um, yeah, Robert Saleh returning to the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Where did Aaron Glenn go?
Aaron Glenn's the head coach
The
of the
Jets.
Jets now,
Yep, that's right. Yep.
and he's speaking of that, he's a big factor in Aaron Rodgers staying. He wants Aaron Rodgers to stay.
Yeah, and
Um,
he played for the Jets from like
yeah, he,
96 to like oh 08 or something like that
he
for
was a
like 8 years.
first round draft pick
Hmm.
for the Jets. But I just want to go over all the people that the Detroit Lions lost. Obviously, we said you got Ben Johnson leaving, Aaron Glenn leaving. They actually lost their defensive line coach Terrell Williams. He's going to New England to be the DC defense coordinator, and then wide receiver coach we know him, Antoine Randall L. He's leaving to go be assistant head coach, wide receiver coach for the Bears.
Hmm.
So
But
they lost.
they are replacing offensive coordinator Ben Johnson with Teddy Two Glove Bridgewater.
No way.
He got named the offensive coordinator for the Lions. I just saw that pop across my phone. Unless it
No,
was just
I don't know
like
because he
a
was.
fake account, but
I'm guessing
it
might be.
said yeah, it said Teddy Bridgewater was announced offensive coordinator for the Lions. So I mean, if that's true, I mean he took his high school team to the to state
Mhm.
championship. So I mean, and they won like 65 to 15 or something like that. So I mean,
Right.
he does have some play calling. I don't know if it's yeah, if it's Madden calls or what he's calling out there, but I mean, obviously he
I mean,
played in the
if it's
NFL, he knows what he's doing. So
if it's true, I mean that's awesome for him. Obviously, winning the high school championship and then returning for the divisional round for a backup as a backup for the Lions, and then
yeah,
a few weeks later gets promoted as their offensive coordinator. If it's true, I mean that's great work by him, and that's awesome for him as well.
yeah, it would be
Um,
sweet if he would have won the Super Bowl. Like they win the Super Bowl, he wins the high school championship, Super Bowl, and then gets a coaching job. That'd be pretty nuts.
hmm
But I mean, yeah, congratulations. If that's true, I guess I can look it up. Did Teddy Bridgewater?
Yeah, I mean I could look it up too, so it doesn't lag. Um, it'd be, dude. I don't know. It kind of seems out because I would have gotten a
No, Teddy.
notification.
Oh no, that says
It would have blown up my phone. I mean that'd be some of the biggest news.
yeah, maybe it was just a scam account. But I mean, who knows? They need an offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna be Teddy, but
yeah.
um, I think he'll stay in the league. I think he'll probably be a backup again for Detroit or elsewhere. But the biggest thing for me is Pete Carroll.
Yeah,
That's a
old.
great head coach. I mean, he's old, but his phenomenal run with the Seattle Seahawks, great coach. The only thing they're missing is a quarterback. They need a quarterback. They picked sixth overall this year, so obviously you got some quarterbacks. I mean, I don't know if they're going to go try to draft a quarterback. Obviously, you got
I mean,
Shador
they can.
Sanders, Cam
Yeah.
Ward. I think they'd have to trade up for both of those guys because I think they'll be picked before six. So they might
No.
have to trade up. They might have to trade up to three or four. But yeah, great hire by them. And then Liam Cohen, like I mentioned, I had no clue who he was. I didn't know he was the offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers. He goes to Jacksonville, and actually there was some stuff going on with that because Robert Saleh was supposed to fly there to interview for the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach position, and
Hmm.
Liam Cohen, I guess, was already there
Oh, interviewing or
interviewing,
already
and so
had his
he canceled his flight, and good for him. He's returning home, where he was,
to the Bay.
he
Yeah.
where he flourished. So, um, yeah, a lot of head coaching changes.
Yeah,
Um,
and then that Pete Carroll, Shador Sanders, like this was months ago, but he did a drive by along the stadium
mhm,
in Las Vegas and said this would be a great place to call home or whatever he put
right.
in his caption. But I mean, it would be Pete Carroll had Russell Wilson. I mean, uh,
hmm
had Russell Wilson in the Super Bowl. So I mean, he was
Yeah.
clicking on all cylinders when he was playing for the Seahawks. So I mean
hmm
it could work out. I mean, Pete Carroll is old, but you've seen those clips where he's running around on the field, throwing the
Oh
ball
yeah.
in
Running
practice and
routes, throwing the
catching
ball.
one
Yeah.
handed and has cleats and gloves on. So I mean, he loves to stay active. I mean, that's a. I mean, he obviously has the credentials. And then yeah, you sent me. I was gonna dive into this. You sent me a thing where that since now he's in Las Vegas, you have Andy Reid in Kansas City, you have Jim Harbaugh
hmm
Chargers or yeah, Los Angeles Chargers, and then in what's that other the Sean Payton in Denver.
Yep.
Just a master class of head coaches. You said 20 conference championship appearances and
Nine
seven
Super
or nine
Bowls.
Super Bowl champion or appearances. So I mean,
hmm
yeah, just a well-rounded class of head coaches there in that division. So yeah, next year should be fun. And I mean, this isn't even the start of it. This is just the coaching and the front office and all
hmm
this. Just wait till players start being moved and everything. There's a lot of free agents left up on the have 1 year or this was their last year on their contract and expiring
Yep.
contracts and everything. So a lot of free agents, a lot of players going to be moved. Yeah, then you have the draft coming up here in a couple months in April. So I mean, uh, not a great draft class by any means. I know obviously you
hmm
have the top 10, 15 guys that stood out this year in college, but not a bad. I mean, you have Ohio State championships college football, and
hmm
you have the quarterback for remind me what his name is. Fuck,
Riley
Ohio
Leonard.
State. Yeah, no, that's Notre Dame.
Yeah, I don't. The quarterback. What's his name? White kid.
Gabriel. No,
No,
that's Dylan Gabriel's
he was
Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't remember her name, but it's his last year at Ohio
hmm
State. He started in yeah Northwestern and then went to Ohio State and yeah finally got the shift there. But
Will
yeah,
Howard.
it's his senior year, so he's going to be entering into the draft.
Riley
Cam
Leonard.
Ward, like you said, Riley Leonard. You have Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, a couple Iowa running back Cameron Johnson or Dylan Johnson
Yeah,
or something like that. I
And
think
then
Dylan Gabriel is entering the draft as well, because he's got to be a senior.
and
He was
then
up
I
for
mean,
Heisman last couple of years.
who
So I
else was
mean,
I gonna? So I was gonna say, God damn it, it slipped my mind. But yeah, I mean, not a great class, but they obviously got those big names like you just mentioned. So it should be fun. We'll talk about that. We'll do like obviously this is one of our last podcasts of the NFL season, and then we'll
yep.
obviously come around when if there's some big trades, we'll hop on or obviously you have like the combine. We'll probably do one for that or after that, just kind of recap that, and then obviously the NFL draft. So we do the Tew Confrontational draft. So um, yeah, I'm excited for all of that, but obviously we got to wrap up. It's kind of sad seeing, obviously college football's ended, and we only got 2 more weeks of the NFL, and we probably won't do one next week because they do take a week off. They have 1 week where there's no football, I believe, right?
Before Super Bowl, yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's one. So this will be, yeah. So I think it's like February, like,
February 9th, I believe,
yep,
is the Super Bowl.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, but no, it should be some good games. I hope they're battles. I mean, hopefully they're high scoring, and yeah, I just want to see Josh Allen make it. I mean, if he loses in the AFC Championship again,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
that'd be tough. But I'm excited for both these games.
Yeah, it would be fun to see Kansas City three-peat. I mean, there's a lot of
Hmm.
storylines in here that are cool. I mean, Saquon going to a new team, winning his first ever Super Bowl. Yeah, Kansas City Chiefs going on a three-peat. Josh Allen, it's like his fifth time right there, and if he
Hmm.
finally makes it, that would be sweet. And then you have rookie quarterback potentially going to the Super Bowl. So
Right, right.
all of these stories would be sweet. Doesn't matter. I mean, Vikings and Packers are out, so it doesn't matter to us really. But yeah, I mean, I have the obviously the Chiefs and the Commanders in the Super Bowl, and you have the Bills and the Eagles. So
Hmm.
either way would be just fine with me. It'd be a great ending to the season. Probably, yeah, top teams in the NFL here, um, as a matter of fact. So, and then yeah,
Right.
got college basketball. I mean, this is the time once football ends, time to start watching some college basketball, trying to get your bearings straight on some hoops and heading into March and the March Madness
Hmm.
bracket and everything. Auburn's sitting up top number one and Duke's number two right now. Cooper Flagg's been a dominant force
Hmm.
in the college basketball, averaging like 22, 9, and 5. He's definitely
Right.
going to the NBA probably next year. But I haven't watched too much basketball. I've watched a little bit of Tennessee. They still look good after losing like Dalton Connect and everything. They look good. Alabama still looks good. They had a couple returning Marcus Spears or Sears or something like that.
Sears, I
Uh,
think, because Marcus
yep.
Spears he's an NFL analyst.
Yeah. But yeah, Sears, Kansas is sitting at 13-4. So I mean, middle of the road. Um, yeah. So I mean, a lot of teams. Kentucky, Animal was at the Kentucky game last
Hmm.
night. So I mean, yeah, just college basketball starting to kind of turn my pace over to that
Hmm.
area and stuff like that. Because yeah, college hoops are fun to watch, especially yeah during all the madness and everything. So, but yeah, college football is over. Yeah, Ohio State knocked off Notre Dame.
Hmm.
Kind of dominated Notre Dame actually, but
Yeah, I mean Notre Dame kind of had a push at the end of the game
yeah,
but I think they got it down to 9 or 13 or something like that. But yeah, just kind of ran out of time. Should have played well, the entire game. It is what it is. I mean, good for Ohio State, um, and good for Ryan Day. I mean, he was getting shit on because they've lost three in a row or whatever to
yeah,
Michigan. So I think if he wouldn't have won,
oh
he
yeah,
probably would have been out of there. He would have been out
yeah,
of there. So good for
yep,
him. You saw that emotion. So yeah, and then obviously you got, like you said, college basketball. You got NBA. I've been starting to turn my attention towards NBA a little bit here. Over the next few weeks, I'll probably be watching more and more each week. But you got NHL, which I've started dove into last year. Been watching that. I mean, the Minnesota Wild having a great year so far. They're probably I think they're only like 25, 30 games in, but um, yeah, I mean, sports are still going. Golf's going to turn up a little bit
oh
here in the
yeah,
next few weeks too. So
yep.
yeah, sports are
They've
still going
already
on,
had
but
like three tournaments, and then fighting Makachev, didn't he win
hmm
last week or something like that?
yeah, I think it was last week. Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't been. I don't know if there's any like huge fights coming up, like big names. What do we got here?
yeah, UFC. There's nothing this weekend. I think it's just a fight
No,
night tonight.
February 8th, Strickland. You have Strickland fighting
Sean
Duplessis,
Strickland.
the second fight. This
Hmm.
is their second meet, and then yeah, nothing really. I'm not seeing any like Pereira
Alex
uh,
Burt.
on March 8th. Yeah,
let's
But yeah,
see.
nothing
So
after that. They've only have it scheduled till like March 22nd.
yeah, so yeah, there's a fight. Let me just take a look here. I got it pulled up. The next one. So we just went through UFC 311 and UFC fight and Adesanya fights on February 1st. So that's in a
Israel.
few weeks here. Yep,
Yeah.
Israel Adesanya.
Oh yeah, I do
Um,
see that February 1st.
and then yeah, Dricus or Duplessis, Sean Strickland, like you said. Um, yeah, I mean, there's fights almost every weekend.
Yeah, they do
But
do fights every weekend, don't they? And then they
hmm
also have like the fight nights too, like just like the free ones on.
yeah, and I think that's I don't even know if there's fights yet. I guess I didn't look. There's probably not any this week or tonight.
That fight night, that UFC fight night, Adesanya, that's a fight night on February 1st. So that one's a free one.
hmm Yeah, so there's
Israel.
no that'd be fun to watch. Yeah, it's free too, so you don't spend the $80 whatever it is. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm excited. I was kind of bummed out. I wish there's because there's not anything on. I mean, today I'm probably gonna spend my day watching NBA games. Just started at 11. Well, there's one
Hmm.
game at 11, but I'll probably watch hockey today. But I was kind of bummed out they didn't kind of split it up. So one game on Saturday and one game on Sunday.
Well, they just
Um,
wouldn't be fair, like because they
why?
have the same amount of time between.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
one
But
person would have to play a day later, and one person would get an extra break or extra day of rest.
but you can make it work because there's games on Saturday last weekend. You could make it work where you get the same break. I mean, there's same games on Saturday last weekend, so the teams that played on Saturday could play on Saturday, and the teams that played on Sunday could play on Sunday.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, it'd be
then
hard to.
going into this big game, then somebody's gonna say, "Well, they had an extra day of
Right.
rest."
Yes, that's
So,
true. Yeah, but yeah,
but
it's gonna be a big day tomorrow. I'm excited.
yeah, I'm pumped as well. And then yeah, a couple weeks and it's Super Bowl time, baby. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what was the stat? Like 1.2 trillion tons of tortilla chips getting in, and like 90 million avocados get consumed on the week of the Super
Mm-hmm.
Bowl.
And you got to think about salsa and stuff like that. But I'm excited for that podcast. I mean, we could just do a fun one next week, but we'll get some details if we want to do one next week and then one for the Super Bowl. But I mean, obviously, Super Bowl is a fun time. Yeah, everybody's pumped. Even football fans that don't like football, or non-football fans, they like watching it because of the commercials and stuff like that. So
Oh
I think it's
yeah,
a big. And then I think eventually they're going to try to do where the Super Bowl is. So you have like that day off.
the holiday. So you have
Hmm.
like the next day off. That would be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people do call in after that Sunday
Hmm.
night game, and it's like, golly. I guess they started at like 5 or 6 though,
It's
so it's
five.
a
Yeah,
little bit earlier. So you're not up till like 9 or 10, but still, yeah, it's consumption of food and beverages definitely gets the best of you that day.
hmm
Makes you feel a little slow in the morning. So, but yeah, I'm pumped. Yeah, got NFL tomorrow. Yeah, basically last week games, and then you have one game, the big one in a couple weeks. So yeah, pumped. Kind of sad that it's almost over, but only like 6 more months and it starts back up. So it's
hmm
kind of something to think about there. So, but yeah, what else do you have to add to this episode of Too Confrontational?
That's all I got. Yeah, just looking forward to tomorrow and obviously Super Bowl, and then yeah, just trying to turn my my eyes to hockey and NBA and college basketball probably after that. So
Yep, some hoops and some pucks for sure.
yes, sir.
So yeah, well that wraps it up for yeah, what is that, episode 86 or something like that? Week
80, yeah,
21.
86. Yep.
Yeah, week 21 of the NFL conference championship week. Yeah, that wraps it up with Two Confrontational. We'll see you guys next week on the pod. Until then, peace.
Peace.